So tonight I'm going to make some jambalaya. And in the fall I was fortunate enough to be able to go visit New Orleans, and I picked up this particular cookbook. It's one of my favorites. It's excellent, and it's the real thing. So I also bought some seasoning that I'm going to be using. It's called Joe's Stuff Original. It's from the New Orleans School of Cooking. And let me go over my ingredients first, and then I'm going to do a quick overview of what all we're doing. So we're going to start with some sausage and some olive oil and some garlic and lots of peppers, bell peppers. I cut up yellow, orange, red, and I think in the bottom you can kind of see there's some green right there. And then an onion and some celery for flavor, and it has the seasoning and salt and pepper here, and more in this particular recipe, more diced tomatoes that are fire roasted. And then we're going to top it with some green onion at the end. But the main protein portion, in addition to the sausage, happens to be shrimp. I was lucky enough to be able to find shrimp on sale yesterday at Martin's. And the other really good thing is that they've already been deveined and peeled. So all the hard work was done. All right, I'm going to start with the sausage. I'm going to brown it. Then I remove it from the pan. Then I continue on cooking the garlic, the peppers, and the onions and the celery for a while. And then everything else will come up to a nice boil once I add all the other ingredients. And then we'll very last add back our sausage. But instead of using rice, which is traditional, I'm using, and this looks like rice, but it's cauliflower. It's riced cauliflower, and that's going to be our in place of our starch. So I have to get a couple more cups of that yet going, but everything else will be ready to go. Are you my good helper? So Artemis always comes into the kitchen when she hears things sizzling. So I'm using a stock pot. This is the biggest pot that I own, and it talks about using a stock pot when you cook this. I'm also using a spoon that it's a special called Cajun roux spoon. Even though I'm not making roux, it's the longest spoon that I have that I can use to brown the meat. This will be great. So the sausage is going to leave a little bit back behind, and that flavor that it leaves behind will then add to our peppers. Alright, this needs to cook for probably another good 5-6 minutes yet, and then I'm going to remove it and set it aside and add my peppers and onions and celery. So I removed the sausage and set it aside. Garlic and my peppers and onions and celery. I'm supposed to cook this for about 5-7 minutes. Now we want to soften this, is what you want to do. So, hard to do one-handed tonight. Break up some of those pieces that didn't get cut quite as well when I was hurrying. No, I think that'll work. Alright, 5 to 7 minutes. Just cooking this. Then I add the tomatoes and the seasoning and the sausage back. So we don't want to overcook the sausage or it'll get mushy at this point. Plus we needed to make room at the bottom of the pan in order to cook the vegetables. If the meat was in the way, you wouldn't be able to cook the vegetables very well. Alright, oh, you can see that, didn't you? We'll break it up. That's what the roux spoon's all about. Okay. So we're just finishing up our cooking for the vegetables. Put a lid on it to help keep the heat in. And I would stir it every minute or so. It's looking pretty good. It's getting good and soft, but it's going to come to a boil here in the next step, so that'll help cook those veggies down. So we're going to add some chicken broth. I'm going to add some seasoning. That's salt and pepper. And then a load of my Joe's Norman style spice and seasoning. And the fire roasted tomatoes. And I'm going to give that a little bit of a stir. And then it asks you, tells you, let's put the sausage back in. And then all those flavors can combine. Shrimp takes about 3 minutes to cook total. So that's the very last thing that we're going to be adding. Plus the cauliflower, since it's shaped like rice, it'll cook super fast too, unlike regular rice that would take some time. So this is a pretty quick dish. I'm going to set my timer for 25 minutes and I'm going to bring this to a boil. As soon as it boils, then I'm going to bring it back down to just a simmer and let it simmer for 20 to 25 minutes. So I added the shrimp. It takes 3 minutes. I'm ready for Mardi Gras or some Cajun food here, also known as jambalaya. The only difference is it's not made with regular rice, it's made with riced cauliflower. And the only difference with cauliflower and rice is, one, it doesn't have the starch, and two, it has better nutrients, and it's just a little bit healthier. So this is awesome. And then you can garnish the top of it a little bit of fresh green onion, fresh cut.